22nd annual UCLA Jazz Reggae Festival. Garth Trinidad in the house with my man Amir Questlove Thompson. Roots just got off stage and killed the joint. And I just really wanted to ask Quest real quick about the new album called Rising Down. Yo, man, this is like, this may be my favorite Roots album. I'm still not over Things Fall Apart, but you guys really went someplace with this album. I mean, what happened?
I think the running joke was we thought we'd have a plan, and the plan was to create an album from start to finish instead of just throwing random songs there, and then we had to figure out the Rubik's Cube, like, okay, well, Love My Life sort of sounds like the emotional center, or Water sounds like the emotional center, and then figuring out what's the beginning with it. Like, we actually, for song number one was like, yo, let's come with a kick-ass opening song. And then we did it, and then we went to the second song, and then the second song was like, whoa, this sounds more important than the opening song. And next thing you know, pretty much we created about 8 or 9 opening songs that just kicked the other song further into the record. Because at one point, Rising Up was made with the whole thing of, yo, let's open up with a go-go joint. And then when we made 75 bars, like, yo, man, let's just open up some raw, just off the top, whatever, like one take, just garbage, like just garbage can, like bashing on your head thing. And then the show must go on was going to be a whole thing of how, like, we still got to strive to keep on. Like, pretty much, with the exception of maybe, like, 2 or 3 joints, basically 2. Quali's joint, Lost Desire was not created with the first song in mind, and neither was Criminal. No, actually, Criminal was, every song was created with the, I'm sorry, I will not apologize. Those 2 songs were the only 2 songs that we made that we didn't think this should kick off the record. So I think that's why the album feels so adrenalized, because usually when we create a song and we know, yo, this is going to kick off the record, then I put extra attention to the detail, to the mixing, like there's a whole process that I go through as an engineer when I know this is going to be the first song that people hear off the record. Like, it's a certain special treatment I give it. And because we did this for damn near 7 or 8 songs on the record, that's why it feels adrenalized.
Real quick, man, I mean, I was reading, I think a quote, obviously the media misquote, so I wanted to make sure it was on point. You and I read this after I listened to the album. You guys went sort of to the darker part of the palette on the record. There's a lot of deeper, darker colors. Mm-hmm. It may be, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like one of your most political records thus far. I mean, what you guys felt like you really had something to say on this? I mean, not like Black Thought doesn't have anything to say on each record, but because he's one of the most profound. But you guys really went to some political issues and painted, a musical sort of palette that was a little bit darker, not than usual, but it was a little different.
Of course, I think a lot of it right now, Philadelphia is going through a social condition and a political condition that might be the norm for LA or Detroit or New Orleans or Baltimore. But to basically go from the city that pretty much was Huxtableized and Fresh Princeized to becoming a city that pretty much makes The Wire look like Epcot Center. It's like when you watch the news channel, and it's just like, it's almost like the Jerry Lewis Telethon. Like, they take a grand total. Okay, and this week we have, Philadelphia's up to 173 murders, and it's not only 4 months. It's April, 173 murders. Like, that is how, like, we're on an average of 4 to 8 murders a week in Philadelphia. And, and even cops are getting it now. It's just like, people are just bucking at, like, it's that bad in Philadelphia. So that really affects you. You would think we would be unscathed about the situation, like, oh well, we got it made or whatever. We're always on tour, so it doesn't affect us that much. But it does because, you know, they're nice. So I got to check on my mom, you know, check on my sister, check on everybody to make sure that they're okay, put my loved ones in better. Like, I had to move like 4 people out of harm's way, you know, past the Mason-Dixon line of danger, just so that, you know, like, we're definitely not unscathed just because, like, or we're the roots or we're privileged or whatever.